We are continuing our quest to find more of the locations used in the filming of the epic HBO TV series, Game of Thrones. Today we are at the Carnlough village, located at the foothills of Glencoe in Northern Ireland. Glencoe is one of the 9 glens of Antrim, on the shores of Carnlough Bay. Carnlough Harbour was built by the owners of the quarries to the west of the village. They also built a freight tramway between the quarries and the harbour. We are here to visit this sheltered harbour, which is one of the most beautiful ports on the Antrim coast. The harbour was also used as one of the locations in the popular HBO television series, Game of Thrones. We are going to have a look around this picturesque harbour and find the spot where the filming actually took place. We had driven by car from Belfast to Carnlough and found some on-street parking. Walking on foot towards the harbour, we come to the village's most noticeable landmark, the old harbour bridge. When you reach here, climb up the steps to the top of the walls on the right to get some great views. Carnlough is located on the northeast coast of Ireland, about 16 miles south of Fairhead and over 30 miles north of Belfast. It has a small harbour situated at the north end of Carnlough Bay. Today the harbour is used by pleasure boats, small fishing boats and offers opportunities for sea angling. We are now walking along the top of the harbour wall, which has great views of the harbour. At this point we get the first sight of the Braavos canal steps, where Arya Stark crawled up from the waters after being stabbed by the Waif. Carnlough Harbour was used as a location in Game of Thrones Season 6, in Episode 7, which was called The Broken Man. Season contains storylines from author George.r.r. Martin's novels A Feast for Crows, A Dance with Dragons and the 6th novel The Winds of Winter. The scene filmed here featuring Maisie Williams' character Arya Stark, who had been on a traumatic journey since witnessing the death of her father, Ned Stark, in Season 1 of the series. Arya had met the enigmatic assassin Jaquen H'ghar. In Season 5, she had travelled to the wealthy city of Braavos and began her training in the House of Black and White to become one of the Faceless Men. But Arya was punished for violating the rules of the Faceless Men cult and was blinded. In Season 6, blind Arya had been begging on the street and was beaten cruelly by the Waif. She is rigorously trained and had her sight restored after accepting herself as no one. Arya was then assigned the task to assassinate an actress, but she decided instead to follow her own moral compass and doesn't go through with the assassination. She decides to leave the cult of the Faceless Ones and plans to return to Westeros. Jaquen H'ghar orders the Waif to find and kill Arya. Maisie Williams said, "I don't think she could ever believe she could give everything up." In this episode, as Arya prepares to return to Westeros, the Waif, disguised as an old crone, viciously stabs her. This scene was filmed in a number of locations. The harbour only appears briefly in the episode, but the location is part of a very important scene. Filming at Carnlough Harbour was used by the filmmakers to recreate Braavos, and was seamlessly blended together with scenes filmed in Girona in Spain between Maisie Williams and Faye Marseille as the Waif, when the Waif had attacked Arya and repeatedly stabbed her. The attack was filmed on the Galley-Gants Bridge in the Old Town in Girona. Arya escapes from the Waif by jumping into a canal. Then the scene changes to Carnlough Harbour, where we see Arya, who is critically wounded, dragging herself out of the water and up the wet mossy steps, obviously in great pain. Season 6 started filming in July 2015 and ended in December 2015. The episode was first screened in 2016. Filmed in 5 countries, but mainly in Northern Ireland. The Causeway Coast was used extensively for film locations, including Carnlough Harbour. Filming at Carnlough Harbour took place in August 2015. In these stills you can see the filming that took place here. A diver was also in the water on hand for safety, and several crew members were on the harbour side. Filming attracted a number of fans on the harbour side who were lucky to be able to watch while filming took place. The only actor appearing in the filming at Carnlough was 18-year-old actress Maisie Williams. In her role as Arya Stark, She had to immerse herself in the depths of the freezing water for the scene. The scene was captured partly using a camera on a crane arm. The scene involved Maisie in full costume, treading water for several minutes during filming, and crawling up the mossy steps on the harbour side. We are now going to walk around the harbour side to get to the steps. Boat trips can be taken from the harbour. Passengers have the chance to spot an array of marine life including dolphins, seals, porpoises, and various seabirds. The boarding point steps are where Arya Stark features emerging from the water in Game of Thrones. The tour also offers spectacular views of the Causeway coastal route from the sea. We are now approaching the area that was used in the filming of the Game of Thrones episode, The Broken Man. Mark Mylod directed this episode. He also directed episode 8 of season 6. In total, Mark directed 6 episodes of the series Game of Thrones, including 2 episodes in season 5. Here you will find a Game of Thrones information panel. Maisie said, "We did so many different takes of emerging out of the water. The first time she stabbed and sliced. I had been to a music festival, so I hadn't slept the whole weekend. Then I was jumping in the Irish Sea. It was a totally manic day. We did a million different takes. We wanted it to be real frantic and panicked. Arya hasn't been emotional in a long time, and we wanted to bring that emotion. It's the first time she thinks she's not going to make it, and it's scary. She ends people's lives like there is no tomorrow, but when it's finally happening to her, she's petrified. She's petrified of dying. She's got so much more to do." To recreate the shot when Arya bursts out of the water, we are going to walk out to the end of the harbour arm. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Maisie Williams described the thinking behind Arya's scenes. "We wanted people to think this could be the end, or the start of the end. Like maybe her wound is going to fester, like the Hound, which had echoes of the end of season 4, when Arya left Sandor the Hound Clegane for dead." The main character featured in the episode The Broken Man sees the return of the Hound, played by Rory McCann as Sandor Clegane, who we see for the first time since the finale of season 4. At this point along the harbour wall, you can recreate the shot here. While you are here, if you have got the time, why not go and see one of Northern Ireland's most picturesque waterfalls, Cranny Falls, which is easily reached on a 1-mile walk from the quiet seaside village. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other Game of Thrones locations films.